dirty.
Unfortunate.
Unsuccessful people, talentless.
I don't know, it's just, like, you know when you see a homeless person, they're always just, I don't know, like, I feel like that's just so rude to say, but they're just like scruffy and just dirt, and obviously because they don't really have much hygiene going on.
Unfortunate because due to perhaps unforeseen circumstances, they've been put in situations where I don't think they want to be in. They say the basic necessities of life is shelter and food, and they're lacking one or maybe two of those.
Family struggles could be, like either religion, people reverting probably to Islam or leaving Islam, they're getting kicked out, relationship issues, money, financial. There's just a lot of things that come with homelessness.
Not any extended forms of conversation, but like sometimes if I decide to give money, I'll ask them how they're doing, or just figure out how they got in that situation, try and give them some advice.
I was in Shepherd's Bush, like near the train station, and I think it was Ramadan. He was just sat there, and I remember he was just, I don't even know how the conversation started with him, but he must have asked us a question when we were walking. He didn't ask us for money. I think that's why we stopped to talk to him, because I think that was the first time a homeless person didn't ask us for money. He just said, "Can you help me?" And we just started speaking to him, and we found out that he was a newly convert. He just converted to Islam, and that his parents kicked him out and he needed help. And that's when we helped him. He wasn't asked, like, he wasn't generally not asking for money. He was asking for food. He was asking, like, us to direct him to a mosque.
Been asked for spare change, and I've given them. There have been times when I haven't given them, and yeah.
It was an interesting conversation. Learned a lot, but they had basically come over from another country, and they were the only ones, like, they didn't have family here, and I think their plans just didn't go well, and they just had no support, they had no help, and that was the only way they could kind of survive.
My name is Abdurrahman Sayyid. I'm the CEO at Al-Manar Muslim Cultural Heritage Center, and Al-Manar Masjid has been in existence for the last 18 years. It was first inaugurated by Prince Charles in 2001, and since then it's been open as a masjid as well as a community hub, catering not only for Muslims but for the wider community.
So we're trying to raise awareness about homelessness in the UK, and we've realised it's quite a big problem that affects many people from different backgrounds. We've seen that Al-Manar Masjid takes part in the winter shelter scheme. So what inspired Al-Manar as a mosque to get involved in this?
As a center and as Muslims, we have a duty towards our fellow citizens and human beings. Homelessness affects everyone. It affects every single community, so there's no exception, there's no particular community that suffers from homelessness and others don't. So that's one thing. The second, as a Islamic Cultural Heritage Center, as a community hub, one thing we always felt we should do is to support the community, especially addressing some of those needs, which includes homelessness. The winter shelter, it's a new scheme for us. It was introduced to us by a volunteer sister, and we welcomed the idea without any hesitation, and that's how we became part of the winter shelter scheme. Normally it's done between October to around end of January to end of February. Like last year there was a very cold winter weather that came around from Siberia. For about 3 days it was freezing cold, and we were approached if we can open up our doors. So we did, and we tried to accommodate up to 100 people for the 3 days consecutively, in partnership with the West London Synagogue and the City of Westminster.
So what kind of facilities do you provide as part of this scheme?
Mainly because it's a shelter, so people would come in the evening once a week. So they will have, as soon as they arrive, to relax, and then we have a beautiful kitchen which has been refurbished with the help of the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, and so they can sit there and have dinner, supper, tea, coffee, and then also socialize and network with each other. We have 2 halls used for each gender. So we have men on one side and women on the second hall, which is warm and quite welcoming. Sleeping bags and everything is provided to them. In the morning they will have breakfast, then in the evening they will go to another rotating center, so it could be a church or a synagogue, and we'll spend the night there. So 7 days of the week there's always somewhere for them to stay in. The good thing here, we also provide them with a shower. We have a washing machine, so they have that opportunity to have a warm shower and clean up themselves and their clothes and so on. We do hope now in future, inshallah, to provide some kind of like counseling support, some medical advice, and a bit of other things that they might need, including like hairdressing and things like that.
It's really humiliating to be shaking a cup 24 hours a day and people just look at you like you some kind of little bum, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have had people to walk past me and say, "Get a job, bum." And I said, "Wait a minute, I'm not a bum, I'm a human being." And it's hard. But after the end of the day, when people go home and everybody get on the metro train, and then I just feel so bad that I can't be going on, you know. I'm sorry, but it's really emotional because I'm really trying to get myself together and get off this tree, you know. And I don't care what it's doing. If I can get a job and through this humility, you know, I mean, you just lose all your humility when you're shaking a cup begging. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can look at a person and tell if they give you respect or not. You know what I mean? A lot of people look at you like you're just a piece of crumb. You know, I had one guy walk past me and talked about me so bad, and then I just looked at him. I said, "God bless you, sir." He walked past and went down the street, come right back. And he said, "You know what, man, I had a bad day." He said, "I'm sorry for even calling you that." He said, "Because I know you're a human being." He said, "Would you accept my apology?" I said, "Apology accepted." He went in his pocket and gave me $30 and said, "Go get you a room and get you something to eat." You know what I mean? I mean, you know, no matter what people think about me, I know I'm a human first. And just because I'm down on my luck, don't give nobody no excuse to call me no bum. Because I'm not.
I wouldn't say it changed because I always felt like sympathy towards them. I mean, this video, it's made me sympathize more, but it's not like I never had the sympathy anyway.
It's provoked thoughts of sadness. You feel a lot of sympathy towards homeless people. Yeah, it's definitely made me think a lot more about the situation that they're in and how we can help them, not just by giving money, but he said like he struggles to be presentable for jobs and such. So how do you expect him to get a job if he's looking like that, or if you can't even get a CV or get something to help him get a job?
I've never had any negative views of homeless people, but it does show very much in depth what they go through. But at the same time, I would say that I understand if some people wouldn't want to support the homeless, because you never know the reason why they're in that state, in the sense that the reason why in that state could be of their addiction, which can be very self-destructive, and you funding into that addiction won't change that much. I understand some people's doubts, but disrespecting the homeless, I don't see anything helping in any way. It just seems very pointless to me.
I think there are things that I've thought about before and things like that. The dehumanization of homeless people. I think it's something that society, really needs to change. I think it has its bad strokes because of a kind of small portion of homeless people potentially being like, there's like a stigma between like drug dealers and not drug dealers, like drug abusers and things like that when it comes to homeless people. And I think they paint that stroke over all homeless people. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, so it was a touching video. In terms of it changing my views, it was a powerful video. I think my views kind of align with it anyways. So yeah.
I don't understand how you can blame, like, how you can't, I don't know, like, I'm just confused as to why you feel that, like, how negative views against homeless people. Like, their living circumstances is what put them in that position. Like, it's not something you control. No one's, like, everyone's born into different living statuses, and that's not their fault. That's generally not their fault, and I feel like if you don't sympathise with that enough, that's not their fault. Like, more time, it's not their fault. You can say some homeless people, they did it because they drank too much, they wasted their money on certain things, but majority of them didn't have that choice. Maybe they just can't afford life. And I feel like for you to think negatively about that is just messed up.
I would say to them, if you were down on your luck, put yourself in their shoes and see how you'd feel if people walked by you making discriminatory comments or just taking the mickey out of you and saying that you should be doing better when you're struggling to survive, let alone do anything more than that.
I would say that that's an easy way out. There's more to homeless people than what you see and what you hear. I don't think anyone would personally choose to be homeless. There's obviously situations in which they can't deal with, or that's just happened that has led them to this situation. And I think to say that someone's put themselves into that position is not fair. So I think it takes speaking to them, empathy, and kind of really getting to know them to really understand the various different reasons as to why people could be homeless.
I'd say that that's just needless negativity, which there's no use of it and it has just no substance. It's just pointless to say something like that. It's like calling someone fat to just work out or something like that, or just to tell them that, to bully them, thinking that that would help them work out or something like this. It's pointless.
Poverty is not a crime, so people who are poor or homeless should not be considered to be as not good people.
What would you say to people in the general public who want to help the homeless and don't know how to do it? Is there a place for them to come and help out with the scheme, volunteer as well?
I think help is very important, and the experience you gain from help. Dealing with the homeless people itself is quite rewarding. Of course, the moral and other rewards and satisfaction that you get. Sitting with them, talking about their own experiences, it's quite enriching, and it makes you realize that you yourself could have been in the same situation. There's a lot of also importance that the people who come to volunteer, they are DBS checked and they're good people. They wouldn't take advantage of the vulnerability of the homeless guests and so on. So in the case of the winter shelter, they would have to come through the West London Day Centre. They have the procedure and the schemes to check everyone is fit to become a volunteer. In our case, we always welcome volunteers, but we do the same thing. There's a procedure to be followed. especially when it involves vulnerable people.
800. 800 people?
800 people, yeah.
500,000.
About 500,000? Yes. Yeah, I'd go 150,000. Below 500,000, definitely. It's around about 70,000.
200,000? I don't know. I say less than 100,000.
I'm guessing 60,000.
50,000 plus. 60,000.
Currently here in the UK there's approximately 29,000 children in northwest London who are suffering from food poverty and about 750,000 people in total.
750,000.
What? No, that's a lot. No, serious. Oh my god, that makes me so sad.
29,000.
The Ahlul Bayt Islamic Society is a society all about the fundamental core values and principles of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, as well as the Ahlul Bayt, peace and blessings be upon them. In taking on this campaign, we aim to raise awareness on issues such as food poverty and homelessness in the UK. We welcome students to come together, to volunteer and help us raise funds and food to distribute to those who are truly in need. Everybody talks about doing stuff about injustice, making a difference in the world and trying to change things internationally. Although we believe that this is crucial and fundamental, we must not neglect those who are suffering on a daily basis in front of us. This is what Hunger for Justice is. We believe raising these issues are very important, especially towards the younger generation. Hosting these campaigns at a university campus is an ideal location for students and young people to get together to make a change. We embody and reinforce values of humanitarianism, compassion, love and equity in order to extend a helping hand to those who are truly in need, oppressed and suffering in front of us today in the United Kingdom.
The world will sleep, but hunger will not.